Hey guys, Matt Philly here, and today I'm answering a question I get asked all the time. Anytime someone sees me in the shed, they see me doing Pimp My Setup, they say, Matt, what mic arm are you using? And this is the Yellowtec Mika. Now, it is available in two colors. You have this, the black, and then this, the light gray aluminum sort of look. And they used to have one that was a little bit darker than this, a little bit lighter than this one, but it's been discontinued to introduce this new color, which honestly I'm really excited about, because if you look, we're all set up for Halloween and it just blends in really, really nicely. And overall, even when we're not set up for Halloween or Christmas or anything like that, I feel like the black one just looks better in here at the end of the day. You may have actually seen this mic arm before because it is an industry standard for most radio stations and places like that. A good example is Ryan Seacrest. He actually uses this exact mic arm, him and his guests. And if you ever watch like an interview with a celebrity and it's on YouTube, you'll most likely see the radio station using this, which I think is super cool. Now, there is a big difference between this one and this one other than color, and you can, yes, get them in different sizes. I don't know about this one in a different size, but I know you can get this in longer and smaller. But this actually has an LED up here at the top. So for people that are in radio stations and they need to know if their mic's hot, this will actually light up, which I think is super, super cool. I believe the different color options are just red and white, but it's a good way, you know, they could be talking smack and then realize their microphone's on and they're like, we gonna stop now. So I do think that's a really useful thing, not necessarily needed for someone like me, but it is definitely a cool feature nonetheless, especially if you're in the radio business. Now, as you can see here, the XLR cable is actually built into the arm. So like in this one and in this one, it's actually in there. There's nothing you can do. You can't get it out. It's pre-installed and it's gonna stay that way. But what happens is you get a strand of XLR cable that just comes out without a connector. So you can decide how long you actually need this cable to be. So as you can see on this one, I have it wrapped up a little bit and it's perfect. There's nothing hanging on the top, below, it just looks good. So with this one, you know, you could have it longer, you could have it shorter, and same goes for the bottom. So the bottom's actually gonna look a lot like this. It's unfinished. You have to be the one to actually go ahead, splice it back, and solder the connector on. So if you're like me, you're probably gonna do a terrible job. Now, granted, it did work for a while, and then I just, they had to send this one out because they did the soldering for me. But that is something good to know. It does not come with the XLR connector, and that could be a turn off for some people. But if you know what you're doing, and I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world, and it's, you know, getting a soldering kit is pretty cheap, then you should be fine. These connectors are super cheap. I'll even link them down below if you're interested. So this right here is the bottom of the arm. And as you can see, it looks pretty awkward and you're like, okay, how do I clamp that to my desk? Well, you have to actually buy something separate, which is another thing that adds to the cost. For me, I have the clamp, which is about $50 or less, around there. They have other options. You can mount it to a wall. You can mount it to a lot of different things. So there are actually radio stations, and I'm showing a little clip real quick of Zach Sang. I saw this because I was watching like a Haters Back Off interview. And if you look, you can see he has like a whole Mika station. So all the radio arms, all those things sort of come out of there. And he doesn't even use this exact arm. He has a lower profile one. So there are a lot of different Mika options. So check the link down below to see sort of what they offer. But of course, we're talking exclusively about this one. Adjusting the microphone arm is super easy to do. There's just these resistant knobs, which makes it easier or harder to actually bend. And then once you get it to where you want it, just tighten it up and it will stay like that. Attaching a microphone is also super easy because you have this screw piece up here. All you want to do is attach the shock mount. In this case, we have the Shure SM7B, which has the piece built in and it's just super simple to use. But if you have a shock mount, it's basically the same process. You screw it into the top, bada bing, bada boom. So let's talk about pricing. As I said earlier, this is an industry standard, which basically means it's used in a lot of really super legitimate studios, and because of that, it probably costs a pretty penny, which it does. In comparison to the Rode PSA-1 and the Heil PL, whatever the hell it's called, those are the competitor arms, and they're roughly $100 or so. But do they look as nice as this? Do they work as nice as this one? No, definitely not. But because of that, this is around $300. Now, depending on your country, I'm in America. One of the suppliers they have is Broadcast Supply Worldwide, and they sell it for $293. It really varies depending on where you are. But for me to get this exact one without the on-air LED, it costs $300. If your microphone isn't that good, then there's no reason to go and upgrade to the Yellowtec Mika right out of the gate. You want to focus on getting something like the Shure SM7B, the Rode Podcaster, the AT2035. One of those really nice microphones is what you should be focused on first. Once you get that, you can make the upgrade to the Mika. To kind of break it down, the SM7B is $350. That's kind of a lot of money for a microphone, but it's worth it. It sounds great. But the Yellowtec Mika is the same price. You got $300 and then $50 for the clamp piece. So because of that, $350, that's a lot of money. So definitely think it out. Don't just, have a Blue Yeti and then get yourself a Yellowtec Mika. It's no bueno. Don't do that. But it's definitely worth it because this will last me a very long time, as will this microphone. So just keep that in mind. So there you go. Just a quick video on the Yellowtec Mika. I really absolutely 100% love this mic arm. And I'm not just saying that because they sent these to me for free. Really, I truly 100% mean it. This is worth every cent and I highly recommend it. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave links to everything down below, from soldering to the XLR connectors to even just the different Mika versions that you can get and all of their other products. So thank you, Yellowtec, for seriously being super awesome. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about the mic arm, I will try to answer them in the comments down below. And if I can't answer them, I'll try to get somebody from Yellowtec to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm at Philly and you're not. Get out of my face. Have a great day, and I'll catch ya on the flippity flop.